My next guest is going to be back in action this Friday, taking on Dre Miley. It is Vinny Dias joining me here on the program. Vinny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing awesome. Tell me how this all came together. A big opportunity this Friday, like I mentioned, which, by the way, this fight going to be live on Spectation Sports.
Yeah, so I mean, came together just about how any other fight comes together. I was training, got the opportunity. My manager sent me over, and I didn't hesitate to say yeah. And any opportunity I can get right now is good for me to further my career.
Was this the right amount of time off in between fights, or were you hoping to fight a little bit sooner than this?
Well, I actually had two fights fall out. I had a opponent pull out in November, and then I had another opponent pull out in February. So like I've been trying to get back in the cage. I've had some bad luck with opponents pulling out.
Okay, well, that's good. Everything worked out. And I want to go all the way back to the beginning, man. First time you and I have had a chance to talk. Of course, you're from Toronto. How did you get involved in combat sports? Where did this journey start for you?
I was just like a hyper overactive kid, So my parents put me in jiu-jitsu and kickboxing when I was 8, and I fell in love with it and started competing at a young age, and yeah, eventually it turned into a career.
When did you obviously you're at the MMA lab training over there. How did that all come together with you training at one of the best gyms in the world?
So basically, it's just I kind of outgrew my environment in Ontario. I was having trouble like finding people that were really able to push me, and my coaches thought that it was time for me to kind of jump up to another level in terms of like my daily training. So they told me I needed to go look for like a big gym with better guys to start uh, training at. So then I was debating between here and Florida,
Mhm.
and I came down here to visit a couple of years ago, and I really liked it here. I never even ended up checking out Florida.
Okay.
Um, and maybe like I think 6 months after I visited out here, I moved out here full time.
That's awesome. How long have you been in Arizona training and competing there?
It's been about 2 years now. I've been here
Nice.
for 2 years.
Bet you don't
Yeah,
miss that Toronto winter this time of year.
absolutely not. Oh my God. My parents send me pictures of all the snow that they're getting up there, and I'm like just happy. It's palm trees and sunny skies out here.
Yeah, yeah. No, Arizona's awesome. That's really cool. So let's talk about your opponent here. 17 fight veteran. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Honestly, I was able to get a limited tape on him, so I mean, I don't know too much about him. I'm just very confident in my game and my own abilities that I'll be able to impose my game on anybody I'm fighting, regardless of the experience.
And I'm sure in your case too, fighting on the regional scene, it's probably better to focus on what you're good at because I know opponents switch up a lot, right? So you could be training for one guy and then it gets switched up, and that's why it's probably better to focus on your skill set and not necessarily on the opponents, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm a big believer in that. Like I don't think you should try to beat somebody at what they're good at. Like I think you should go out there and play your game. Like it's about who can do what they want first, right? And who
Yeah.
can do it better.
Uh,
So I'm not.
oh, sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No, I'm good. I'm just not. I'm not super. I don't focus too much on my opponents. I usually just try to focus on what I'm doing.
You're obviously at one of the best gyms in the world. Who are some of the main training partners? I know the lab's really big, and I know you guys, I mean, all weight classes kind of work together a little bit, but who are some of the main guys that are helping you get ready for this fight?
I was working a lot with Shaman Moraes. He's a good fighter. He's fighting in PFL, and been getting some working with Ezra and Marcus and Mario, all the guys that are coming up on our team. We all work together all the time, so it's definitely. I mean, we're in here with killers every day. Like guys that are in the top 10 in the UFC. So yeah, I'm very excited to go out and be able to put the work in.
How's the confidence level risen over the last 2 years with the fact that you just mentioned it there, Mario Batista? I mean, these are a lot of fighters that are, in the UFC that you get to train with. I'm sure you have a good gauge of where your skill set's at, getting to actually train with some of these top level guys.
Oh yeah, like the confidence is through the roof. Like I know that every day I'm training at the highest level in the world, like with the best guys. Um, and I also know that like a day of training here is harder than anything I'm gonna see in the cage. And like our camps are tough, man, and we're sparring fresh guy after fresh guy, and yeah, like the confidence is through the roof because I know there's nothing that my opponent can show me that these guys don't do better. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. And as far as getting out to Montana for this fight, when are you heading out there, and who's making the trip with you as far as your corner?
I'm heading out there on Wednesday. I'm gonna go up with one of my longtime coaches from Toronto, Evan Boris from Hitters Fight Club,
I know Evan
and
quite
then
well, actually. That's awesome. If you said,
yeah,
well, mention this after the interview, but tell Evan I say what's up. I know him quite well, so one
for
of the
sure.
best.
Yeah, he's down. Yeah, he's out here with me right now.
Oh no way. Okay,
Um,
cool.
yeah. So we'll go up together, and then on Friday, John Crouch, my head coach at the MMA lab, he's gonna come out and they're gonna corner me together.
That might be one of the best corners you could have with Evan and John Crouch. I mean, that's amazing. Just a wealth of knowledge. And for those who
Yeah.
don't know, Evan used to be in Florida with the what used to be called the Black Zillions. Now it's become what Killcliff, I think. So Evan's been all over
Yeah.
the world. One of the best striking coaches out there. So that's awesome to hear that you work with him. He's one of the best.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's awesome, man. He's been a really big mentor for me and a great coach for a long time. So I'm lucky to have him out here with me and for him to be a part of my journey.
How's this fight playing out on Friday? How do you see it unfolding?
I see a first round finish incoming, either by knockout or submission or a TKO. But I see this ending fast.
You got a great record here, man. And we talked about obviously the opportunity you have here on Friday, a win here. I mean, that's got to be on the radar of, Dana White and the Contender Series, or even, some big opportunities here. I know the focus is on Friday, but I'm sure you thought about where this year could be taking you with your record.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we've talked a lot. Me and my coach John Crouch, we've talked a lot about where this is heading, and I think one or two more wins puts me right in a perfect position to get on Contender Series. So I mean, that's what we're aiming for this year, and I mean, I've been working at this for a long time, and I'm ready to reap some of the harvest that I've put in.
Well said. What about downtime? I know you're there training, and obviously Arizona's really nice. There's lots to do. I know there's as long as the weather's not too hot, you can probably do some hiking and stuff. But what do you like doing when you're not training and taking naps? Like, what are some things you enjoy doing outside of fighting?
I like to get outdoors. I like hiking. I like being in the nature. Feel like that resets me better than anything else, and it's just yeah. If I have some free time, like you'll catch me out in the middle of the desert.
Okay. And from one Canadian to another, are you a hockey fan at all, or no? Focuses on
No,
MMA. Okay.
unfortunately not. No.
No, that's fine. Hey, I get it. I mean, MMA takes up so much time. The UFC's doing events every weekend. Like that, it's hard to watch other sports, honestly, with how busy the MMA schedule is, right?
Yeah, no, it is, and I don't know. I just my passion is for fighting, and I've always been passionate about it, and I don't know. I'm not too big into other sports, to be honest.
Did you see though the brawl that happened at the Four Nations with Canada and the U.S.? Did you see that highlight at least on social media? Did you hear about that?
No, actually, no, I
Oh,
didn't
you
see
got to go
it.
check it out after. Maybe I'll send you a link after. But basically, like when
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game started, there was like 3 fights, and that doesn't happen in international competition like ever. But there's such a
Oh,
rivalry
that's
between
sick.
Canada and the U.S. that they had to go at it, I guess, for their honor or something. So,
Yeah,
so
a
there you
little
go.
fist fight is good.
Exactly. A little bit of fighting's not bad. Vinny, thanks for doing this, man. We're looking forward to the fight. It's Fusion Fight League coming up here this Friday. If you can't make it there in person, you can watch it live on Spectation Sports. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I would like to thank Sugo Toronto for helping me out, sponsoring me with helping Evan get out here, and my old sponsor Tischler Custom Homes. I'd like to give a big shout out to them as well. Um, Omega Alpha, one of my supplement sponsors, and Perfect Sports, another great sponsor that these guys have been helping me out. And yeah, I mean, thank my wife for going through this journey with me because it's not easy, and the sacrifice comes from all sides.